You're wrong. Sulfuric acid.
Free crab! Woo-hoo-hoo! Let's go get some free crab!
Let's go to the bar.
No!
3 3 3 3 3 3 3 3 Boomerang. Boomerang.
Hey, yo, the pizza here!
The fuck is that? Not a trap.
Michael Jackson!
Alright, I'm going to class.
On today's episode of How Fucked Up Is Fucked Up. That's fucked up.
Touchscreen works the same way as it does for those systems, but Nintendo 3DS comes with an extending stylus. Hello, little stylus.
Hello, Mario.
I mean, look, I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say
Dancing, walking, be-a-ring, dancing, walking, be-a-ring, dance is jumping, with the birds out of the day.
Testicles. A student named Playtime appeared in my way. She pulled out her pussy.
Mark's Pizzeria.
Did you know
Holy crap, I'm in Fortnite! Oh my gosh, this is so freaking epic! Holy crap, Donald Trump! Hello, Peter. Welcome to Fortnite.
Hey, Italian man! Huh?
What is going on here? Oh!
Can I get shut the fuck up here? Jesus Christ, shut up! What is going on? What's you guys doing?
Can you be quiet? I'm trying to sleep.
Square of one side plus the square of the other side is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. In other words, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
You know, I changed my mind. Kill yourself. Wait, if the line "What happened to you" isn't about Glamrock Bonnie, then who
is it about? Well, it's about her dad. He disappeared one day and they don't know where or why. That's why she refers to him in the past tense. But that then leads us to another question. Why is she reminded of him with that particular item? The Bonnie mask. Just because Bonnie was his favorite? No. I suspect it's because her father wore that Bonnie mask. And not only did he wear it, he wore it during the single most infamous scene in the entire franchise, the Bite of 83.
Was that the
Here, right here. All your needs will be met.
I'm hungry.
In a minute? shivering, they find out what is there and then they show it to you. Wasn't that a beautiful title sequence?
I think it was pretty cool.
I do think it was composed very well. Oh! Welcome to Borough Bugs, our very own show!
In this show, we're going to be researching some London boroughs and telling you what you may be able to find in the boroughs, such as transports, landmarks, and any other places or facts of note.
Hello, my name's Zach. I'm a little blue butterfly.
Hi, my name's Vinby. I'm a little, pink bumblebee.
And this is Borough Bugs.
Is that it?
What?
Are we not going to mention anything else?
Oh yes, we have this red button here, which will allow us to choose the borough from our wall of boroughs.
To start off, we'll be covering all of the boroughs in inner London.
And what's a better place to start than one of the most famous boroughs in London?
Yes, the London Borough of Westminster is one of the busiest London boroughs, with tourists from all over the world flocking to see the sights of the beloved capital city.
So the borough we're, of course, going to talk about today is... Westminster!
Ooh.
The London Borough of Westminster has many landmarks, which is why so many tourists come to this part of London.
But it also has some very obscure and calmer areas which not many people visit.
I love obscure areas. Shall we go and learn more about this borough?
Of course! Let's go!
In the more central areas of the borough, rather than places like Pimlico or Little Venice.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the landmarks rather than get some peace and quiet in the more obscure areas.
Speaking of landmarks...
That's Big Ben right there.
Actually, the tower is called the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben's just the bell. This whole bit is the Palace of Westminster, also known as the Houses of Parliament. This place is where the British government writes up all of the laws that we have to abide by.
What if I were to break one?
Let's not find out, shall we?
There's so many people here.
I suppose a lot of people are excited to see such a big clock, aren't they?
I mean, it's one of the main landmarks of London.
True. Big Ben also didn't go ding dong, for a while, because they were renovating the tower, and now that it's all finished, Big Ben is once again ringing for all of central London to hear.
That's Westminster Abbey.
Yep, 40 coronations have taken place here for all of the British monarchs who have come and gone. It was founded over 1,000 years ago.
Wow, it's that old?
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much history the city has. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's Westminster we're covering today.
Hey, wait, aren't there dead people here?
Oh yes, a bit of grim history here. This place is the resting place of all of the monarchs that have ruled over the UK, as well as some famous people, such as Charles Darwin himself.
Pretty morbid stuff, honestly.
This is Piccadilly Circus, one of the busiest road junctions in London.
That's a massive screen.
Oh yes, that right there is called Piccadilly Lights. It's a 110-year-old wall which shows loads of adverts.
110 years?
Yep, although it wasn't always a screen. Back in the 1900s, it was solely electric billboards. It didn't become a screen until 1998, when they switched to projectors. And then in 2011, they started using LED lights, which are what we now see today.
Look at all those adverts. Oh, they're making me want to buy stuff.
Vinbeat, focus.
Sorry.
But it is relevant, because our next destination is one of the busiest shopping areas in central London.
Yeah, just up the road from here is Oxford Street.
There's loads of clothes shops here.
Wow, imagine the prices of everything in these shops. What shops do they have here?
One of the most noteworthy shops here is Selfridges, which was named the world's best department store in 2010 and in 2012. There's also Hamleys, the world's largest toy shop.
Ooh, that's Buckingham Palace. The king lives there, right?
Ding ding! Right answer. This place is the headquarters of the royal family.
God save our gracious king.
Please don't start singing.
Sorry, can we go inside Buckingham Palace?
No, but 12 people in the past have actually tried to.
Well, I'll be the 13th.
Don't do that. This here's Leicester Square, one of the more popular areas for tourists.
Is that M&M's World?
Uh-huh, the largest sweet store in the world. Fancy anything to eat?
Actually, I do fancy something sugary.
Well, maybe later. We're doing this.
Oh.
Another thing here is Chinatown. The road signs here have additional Mandarin text, because of course, it's Chinatown.
What's actually in Chinatown?
Well, when you get there, you're greeted by a massive gate, which was built in 2016 on Wardour Street. Once you enter, you'll see lots of different Asian restaurants, as well as gift shops selling all sorts of stuff. There's also loads of red lanterns hanging all around, making it a truly beautiful scene. This is Hyde Park, one of London's many royal parks.
Isn't it the biggest one?
No. The biggest in London is Richmond Park, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
This place has a lake, doesn't it?
Yes, the Serpentine and the Long Water. By this lake is the memorial for Princess Diana.
Rest in peace.
And on the western end of the park, there's another body of water. This one is called Round Pond. I'm not joking, that's the actual name of the pond.
Isn't Winter Wonderland held here?
Yep, the annual Christmas Wonderland Fair is held here from November to January. Honestly, I'd love to go, but have you seen how expensive it is?
It's only £5.
Wait, seriously? Have I been gaslit into thinking it's like £12?
Probably.
And here's one of my favourite places, the London Transport Museum.
You can walk through and see the history of London's transports all the way back to the 1830s.
I love this place so much. This museum lies in Covent Garden and is about a 3-minute walk from the tube station.
The shop is so colourful.
I could stay here for hours.
Until the shop has to close.
No matter, I am a tiny insect. They'll never notice me.
For the record, we don't condone staying in shops after they close. Did you see how many people were at those landmarks?
Yeah, I don't know how you can move through so many people.
People from all over the world think the places to see in Westminster are so interesting. And what's another interesting part of Westminster and London as a whole?
Oh, I know where this is going. The transport!
Of course, we have to start off with Westminster Station, right?
Yep. Westminster Station is, of course, one of the main stations of the Borough of Westminster, with the Circle, District, and Jubilee lines. Let's see how many stations the other tube lines have here. We'll be showing this on our Transport for London tally. Well, it seems that the Circle line has the most stations in this borough, at 12 stations.
And the Metropolitan line has only a measly 2 stations. How sad.
It's also worth noting that Westminster also has some of the London terminus stations.
There's London Marylebone, London Paddington, London Victoria, and London Charing Cross.
Each of them connects to different parts of the UK. Marylebone has Chiltern, Victoria has Southern, Charing Cross has Southeastern, and Paddington has Great Western. Victoria also has the Gatwick Express, a fast train which goes from Victoria all the way to Gatwick Airport. And Paddington has the Heathrow Express, which is also a fast train, but this one goes to the more famous London Heathrow Airport. You can also get the Elizabeth line from Paddington, which is a new heavy rail service which stretches from southeast and northeast London all the way to Berkshire. Wow!
Westminster is also home to plenty of London buses, but surprisingly, there's only one bus station in the entirety of the borough, Victoria Bus Station.
I honestly thought there'd be more bus stations in a borough such as this, but apparently not. I suppose there are too many historic buildings here, so there'd be no space for any other bus stations.
A much larger station for road vehicles exists at Victoria, however, that being Victoria Coach Station, which is the main hub for coaches going in and out of London.
Most of the stations in Westminster are in Fare Zone 1, the main fare zone for Transport for London services. There are some exceptions, with 4 stations being in Fare Zone 2, St John's Wood, Royal Oak, Maida Vale, and Warwick Avenue.
Does the tube here have any history?
Absolutely! One of the stations in the north of the borough has the most history to it, that being Baker Street, mainly the Hammersmith and City and Circle Line platforms, which is the oldest part of the tube network, dating all the way back to the opening date of the London Underground, the 10th of January 1863.
Over 160 years old? It's amazing to think this train service is still running to this day.
Yep, it stretched from Paddington to Farringdon. All the stations on the first ever tube line are still visible to this day. Some of these stations have gone through many refurbishments over the years, but some hints of history are still able to be seen today at some stations.
There's some abandoned stations here too.
Oh yes, it wouldn't be London without some hidden London, would it? One of the most famous examples of an abandoned station is Aldwych on the Piccadilly line. It closed on the 30th of September 1994 due to low passenger numbers and the cost of replacing the lifts. Another good example is the Jubilee line platforms of Charing Cross, which closed on the 19th of November 1999 when the Jubilee line was extended to Stratford. Both of these stations are actually used as popular filming locations for films.
Some other stations which are now abandoned or closed include Marlborough Road and Lords, both on the Metropolitan line, and both closed on the same day, the 19th of November 1939. This was due to St John's Wood opening not too far from these two stations, which used to be on the Bakerloo line, but is now on the Jubilee line.
And there is, of course, Down Street, which is also on the Piccadilly line. The station closed on the 21st of May 1932 due to low passenger numbers, and also the nearby Green Park and Hyde Park Corner stations had newer entrances built near to the station, so the station essentially became obsolete.
It's not just abandoned stations, some stations never even got opened.
That's right, just like our old friend Aldwych here, while it did open on the Piccadilly line, it was originally going to be part of the then Jubilee line, known then as the Fleet line. It was originally going to be part of Phase 2 of the line, which was approved in 1971, but as we all know, this never went through, and the plan to extend the Fleet line to Aldwych was officially abandoned forever in 1989, and the Jubilee line instead extended to Stratford.
Plenty more stations were planned and not built, but there's too many, so we won't cover them all.
Are there any more modes of transport in Westminster?
There is the River Bus service, which is a boat service going across the entire River Thames in London.
The piers which you could disembark at in Westminster are of course Westminster Pier, as well as Millbank Pier and Embankment Pier.
And I think that's everything to do with transport.
Wow, loads to speak about, but we're not done just yet. It's now time for the last section of the show. Trivia!
Boring.
Yeah, good. The Westminster you know today was originally made up of 3 different metropolitan boroughs, those being Westminster, Paddington and St Marylebone. The Old Westminster gained city status on the 29th of October 1900, officially calling the Old Metropolitan Borough the City of Westminster.
Westminster would not become part of the Greater London we know and love today until 1965, when the London Government Act of 1963 was enacted and the old metropolitan boroughs merged, creating a brand new Westminster, and its city status was transferred to the new Westminster.
1 year later, in 1966, Westminster gained its own Lord Mayor, Sir Charles Norton. As of 2024, the Lord Mayor of Westminster right now is Robert Rigby.
Westminster's population in 1801 was at 220,000. If we fast forward more than 200 years to 2011, the population count has decreased by about 1,000. In fact, Westminster's population is a bit all over the place if you look at the past hundreds of years.
As shown earlier, Westminster is served by 27 tube stations, and it would be a perfect place to go and ride all of the tube lines, except one line is missing from this borough, the Waterloo and City line, which is so small and underutilised that it's a laugh it's considered a tube line at all.
In 2020, Westminster installed 500 electric charging points on lampposts all around the city. And as of 2024, there are over 2,000 of these charging points.
When trams were around in central London, they never really entered Westminster, nor the neighbouring borough of Kensington and Chelsea, mainly because the people here considered the trams too low class.
Westminster, despite its extremely high cost of living and massively expensive housing, has the cheapest council tax in the entirety of London.
Most of you probably already know this, but Paddington Bear is named after the actual station, Paddington.
No, the station was named after the bear.
No, the bear was named after the station.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
No.
We would like to formally apologise for the reckless display you have witnessed.
We were just being sillies.
We have resolved this privately and concluded that Paddington Bear is indeed named after the station.
I still think the station was named after the bear.
This is a story about a guy named Al, and he lived in a sewer with his hamster pal. But the sanitation workers really didn't approve, so he packed up his accordion and had to move to a city in Ohio where he lived in a tree. And he worked in a nasal decongestant factory, and he played on the company bowling team. And every single night he had a strange recurring dream where he was wearing lederhosen and a vat of sour cream. But that's really not important to the story.
Well, the very next year he met a dental hygienist with a spatula tattooed on her arm. But he didn't keep in touch and he lost her number. Then he got himself a job on a tater tot farm, and he spent his life savings on a split level game, 20 miles below the surface of the earth. And he really makes a mighty fine jelly bean and pickle sandwich for what it's worth.
Then one day Al was in the forest trying to get a tan when he heard the tortured screaming of a funny little man. He was caught in a bear trap and Al set him free, and the guy that he rescued was grateful as could be. And it turns out he's a big shot producer on TV, so he gives Al a contract, and what